Hello, everybody. Gage says it's empty. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello, everybody. Thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Keeping with our style after yesterday's stout from the Bahamas. This is Moa Imperial Stout. This is a stout aged in Pinot Noir barrels. I probably butchered that up. But basically, it's wine barrels. They've aged this beer in some wine barrels. And this is a black label with black writing on it, except for the Imperial Stout lettering here, and it's very hard for me to read. So I'm going to be squinting trying to read this. Moa Brewing Company in New Zealand. This beer comes from New Zealand. Says ABV is 10.2% alcohol by volume on this one, guys. A bottle fermented and conditioned beer. And let's see. Moa Imperial Stout, super premium stout aged in Pinot Noir barrels, produced by the Moa Brewing Company. I don't think they date the bottle on this stuff. It has a very unique bottle to them and has a lot of raised glass embossing here on the bottle. It's also got the Moa Ltd, Moa Brewing Company Ltd, and like I said, they're from New Zealand. And this is a cork top with a cage on it. I think I picked up 3 of these when I was down at Total Wine in North Carolina several months ago, and I've already had one of them. And I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag by telling you what I thought of it. I'm going to review this one, and I have one that I'm going to put away for several years and see how it changes and how it develops. I will end up probably writing the date on it if it does not have one on it somewhere. Once we empty the bottle and come back with the final chug, I'll look again just to let me know what year that I bought this beer. So let's get on with this show. I'll read you the commercial description. Moa Imperial Stout Barrel Reserve is a very strong upfront and rich offering from this famous Moa style, aged in Pinot Noir barrels, N-O-I-R barrels. This beer not only displays coffee and mocha characters, but also some sweet and savory notes unique to Moa Imperial. This award-winning stout is seasonally produced and available for short periods each year. Alright. The food pairings. Food pairings for this: cheeses of buttery brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss. And since it is a stout, it goes well with your chocolate dishes. And the meat for this is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glass large pint, Becker Stein, mug, tumbler, snipper, oversized wine glass. I got the Dubo glass here. You could use the oversized wine glass for this. This is a big beer, being a 10.2% ABV, and it will keep for extended cellaring. So I'm going to cellar the last bottle that I have in there. So without further ado, let's get the cage off of this thing and get the cork out of it. And let me tell you guys what I think about it. Let's see if I can get this cork out. Oh wow, it come out. It popped out fast. As soon as I twisted it, it popped. Did you hear it? Pop. I'm surprised it ain't gushing all over the place with that much carbonation. Definitely under pressure, bottle conditioned. And this is not a huge bottle. With that semi-aggressive pour, we did get us a probably 2 to 3 finger head on there. And this is a light green bottle. And I'm going to hold it up to the light because there's not a whole lot of condensation coming off of it. But I do not see any dating on it. And didn't see any on the label. It does have a barcode. But it's got a black label on it, like I said. And there's not a whole lot of writing on the label. So I will be writing the year on this and putting the other one that I have away, so I'll know when I did pick it up and how old it is when I do drink it. I don't even know if y'all can see the writing on the bottle from there, but got some big bubbles in there. I mean, great big bubbles on the side there. Let's get it over to the light and see what we got. I am not seeing any light whatsoever coming through this beer. It is pitch black. Very dark beer. And there are a lot of bubbles trimming up, reinforcing that head. A lot of bubbles. Very carbonated. The head is very dark, off-white. I'm going to say it's not tan, it's a little darker than a tan. And the bubbles are just going crazy on the head. They're coming up and exploding. Let's get a nose on it and see what we got. This is a very complex beer being aged in wine barrels. Not only are you getting the stout characteristics, which are typically your coffees and chocolates and dark fruit and stuff, but with being aged in the wine barrels, you're getting some sourness and some grapes and some of the fruitiness that you get on the nose and the taste too, I'm sure. Very, very interesting smell. I don't think I've smelled another beer that smells quite like this. And I don't know what the distribution is on this beer, coming from New Zealand, so I don't know what states they do distribute to. I don't think I've seen it in Virginia. Like I said, I picked these up in North Carolina. But when we did the micro festivals back in the summertime, they were here and they had a booth. They didn't have this particular beer, but they had an IPA and several others, and they had some very tasty beers. I was impressed with what they had there. So, sweet grapes, chocolate. There is some sourness to the smell. Wow, very intriguing, guys. And I'm not big into the fruity type beers, the berry beers and stuff like that. I'm just not into them. A lot of people love those beers. I'm not in that crowd. But it does have some sourness smell to it. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. As you can see, the head is basically gone. We've got about a little less than a finger of head now. And it's already where the foam was up there. It's about lacing on the glass. So the bubbles are still going crazy up underneath of it. Still going to town. Almost like a champagne. It's got so many bubbles in the bottom of it there, streaming up. Cheers. Definitely a sour, a grapish sourness to it, but there's also chocolate and coffee. A rich roasted malt, almost like a black patent malt to me. It's like the best of both worlds with a beer and a wine. It's like half beer and half wine. That might sound awful, but it's really not that bad. Not a beer that I would drink daily or even weekly, maybe not even monthly, but a nice, intriguing beer to try. Heavily on the sourness and the grapeness, not to the point of a lambic or anything like that. Close, but not quite to that extreme. Very different though. Very, very different. Not something that's actually blowing my socks off or my hair back or anything, but very complex. A lot of stuff going on in this beer. And it's right out of the fridge, 40 degrees. And I can feel the carbonation just taking that sip or two, coming back up. So very carbonated beer being bottle conditioned and bottle fermented or whatever you want to call it. They've added a little bit of yeast or something in there when they put it in the bottle, and that's why they have to put the cork in a cage on it to keep it from exploding or blowing a cap. And this is a very thick bottle. Very thick, a lot thicker than a regular 12-ounce bottle would be. Very nice bottle though. Got some nice embossing on there. Well, from New Zealand. It's 40 degrees. Let's let it warm up and we'll come back and do the final chugging comments on this one. I'll be right back. Hi everybody, thanks for staying around. Very tasty beer. Very unique, very different than what a regular stout would taste like. A lot of grapes and sourness to this beer. Not to the point where, like I said, that it would be considered a sour, but it does have some sourness from the grapes and being in the wine barrels. So very unique, very different. Let's do the final chug on this one. Very different, very tasty. Not getting any of the alcohol for that big of a beer. Very well made beer. Not something that I would seek out a lot, but very unique. Very unique. Not quite in the normal stout style to me, with that being aged in the grape in the wine barrels there. So very different. That's the way I would put it. Very tasty, but very different. So not blowing my hair back on my socks off because of the sourness and the grape taste there. Seems like that is a little more potent than what the chocolate coffee aspects of the stout usually is. Very tasty, but not very representative of the style. So, with that being said, guys, I'm gonna give it an 8, which is an A minus. I think it's an A beer, but it's not your typical Imperial Stout. So we'll leave it at that, and let's go see what the other guys think of this. We'll go over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says 96 overall. Very good number there, but 52 in the style. So it's not very representative of what an Imperial Stout would taste like being aged in the wine barrel. So gives a sour, a grapish sour taste to the beer, which is different. Not bad, but different. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's different, very different for the style of beer that they've got it classified in. So let's go over to Beer Advocate, and Beer Advocate says it's 82, which is in their good range. And kind of low numbers, but I'm thinking the the wine barrels has influenced those grades. So with that being said, if you've had this beer from New Zealand, Moa Imperial Stout, aged in the Pinot Noir barrels, give me some comments back on this, whether you liked it, didn't like it. And as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and let's go see what's in that fridge tomorrow. See everybody then.